Hey there, and welcome. You've probably seen the words Federal Reserve printed on pretty much every dollar bill you've ever touched. But what does it actually do? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on this super powerful institution and break down exactly how its decisions ripple all the way down to your bank account. And we're going to start with why all of a sudden it's at the center of this huge political firestorm. So let's get right to the drama, because there is a major political battle happening over the Fed right now. You've got the president wanting the power to fire its leaders, and you've got politicians on both sides scrambling to protect them. So what is all the fuss about? Why is everyone fighting over this place? Well, it's because when you push aside all that political noise, the Fed is, without a doubt, the single most powerful economic force in the country. Seriously, it holds the keys to the entire U.S. economy, and because of that, it has a massive, direct influence on your personal finances. And that incredible power, that's what this whole fight is about. You can think of it like this. It's a battle over who gets to control the economy's thermostat, who gets to decide when to turn up the heat and when to cool things down. And you can see this playing out in real time. The White House is pushing to slash interest rates, hoping for a quick economic boost. But the guy in charge of the Fed, Jerome Powell, he's way more cautious. He wants to take it slow, look at the data. And this disagreement, it's gotten so heated that there have been threats of firing board members, which raises these huge questions about just how much political influence should be on our economy. Okay, so to really wrap your head around the Fed's role, I want you to think of the economy as a giant party. The Fed isn't the DJ and it's not the life of the party. Nope. The Fed is the chaperone, and its only job is to make sure the party doesn't get so out of control that the whole house comes crashing down. And trust me, before this chaperone showed up back in 1913, the parties were, well, they were a total mess. The U.S. economy was just one boom and bust cycle after another. You'd hear a rumor that a bank was in trouble, and people would literally panic, creating a bank run to pull all their cash out, which could cause even perfectly healthy banks to collapse. It was pure chaos. There's this fantastic quote from a former Fed chair that just nails this idea. He said, "The Fed is the chaperone who has ordered the punch bowl removed just when the party was really warming up." It's a thankless job, right? They step in to slow things down right when everyone's having fun, all to prevent a massive economic hangover, otherwise known as a recession. So officially, the Fed really has two big jobs. It's what they call their dual mandate. First, keep prices stable. That means fighting inflation so your money is worth the same tomorrow as it is today. And second, make sure as many people as possible have jobs. It's all about keeping that economic party humming along at a nice, steady pace. So how does our chaperone actually manage the vibe of the party? What's its secret weapon? Well, it's basically one giant lever that controls interest rates. The Fed really only has two main moves. If the party's getting too wild and prices are shooting up, that's inflation, it pulls the lever up, raising interest rates. That makes it more expensive for everyone to borrow money, which kind of cools the whole party down. But on the flip side, if the party is dying and people are losing their jobs, it pushes the lever down, lowering interest rates. That makes borrowing cheaper, which encourages people and businesses to spend and hire, heating the party back up. Okay, this is the part you've been waiting for. We've talked about the big picture, the theory. Now let's get down to what this actually means for your money. How do these high-level decisions actually change the cost of your mortgage, your car loan, and even the money in your savings account? Let's look at it through a simple question. When the Fed decides to heat up the party by cutting those interest rates, it creates some very clear winners and some very clear losers. So the question is, which one are you? First up, the winners. And that's anyone who borrows money. If you're looking to buy a house, get a car loan, or even just carrying a balance on your credit card, lower rates are great news. It means your debt gets cheaper. Businesses win too, because they can borrow money for less to grow and hire new people. And all that optimism, it often sends the stock market soaring. But there's always a flip side, right? The losers in this low-rate environment are the savers. If you've been doing the responsible thing, stashing your cash away in a high-yield savings account or a CD, well, your returns are about to drop. You're going to earn less interest on the money you've worked so hard to save. But Why does that happen? It's actually pretty simple. See, when you put money into your savings account, the bank doesn't just let it sit in a vault. They lend that money out to other people for mortgages and car loans. Your interest is basically you getting a small slice of the bank's profits. So when the Fed lowers rates, banks can't charge as much for those loans. And since they're making less profit, your little slice, your savings rate, goes down too. It's a direct ripple effect. And this brings us right back to where we started, the political drama. Once you understand who wins and who loses, you start to see why the idea of the Fed's independence is so important and so fiercely debated. This isn't just some academic concept, it has real, tangible consequences for your wallet. You see, the whole system was specifically designed to prevent political meddling. The board members serve these super long 14-year terms, and their appointments are staggered so that no single president can just come in and stack the board with all their buddies. The whole goal is to insulate these huge economic decisions from the short-term pressures of politics. Which brings us to the high stakes of right now. The president wants to slash rates for that quick economic jolt, which, would be great for borrowers in the short term. The Fed, on the other hand, wants to move cautiously to avoid long-term problems, like out-of-control inflation. If politics wins this fight, we could be looking at a much more volatile and unpredictable economy down the road. So, at the end of the day, it all boils down to one central question. What do we value more? Lower loan payments right now, today, or a stable, predictable economy for the long haul? As this political fight continues to play out, the answer to that question is going to be felt in your wallet for years to come. Thanks for tuning in.